You know, we used to think we were secure because of oceans and previous diplomacy.
I'm angry, I'm sad.
Now we got this aftermath that is lingering for years.
But we realized on September the 11th, 2001, that killers could destroy innocent life. And I'm never going to forget it. And I'm never going to forget the vow I made to the American people.
I'm scared. I don't want you to go. Tell me about the first time you guys met.
The first time we met, well, I must have been 6.
That's
No,
6.
how old?
12.
Young, very young.
I love Matt's personality. I love his sense of humor. He makes me laugh like no one else, and it's really what his sense of humor that drew me to him. And he's just got such a positive light around him that just makes people want to be around him. We've been dating for 2.5 years, 3 years in June, and he went to the Navy and was active duty for 2 years.
I joined the Navy shortly after I graduated high school in 2001. Next thing you know, 9/11 happened, and that kind of freaks you out. Whether you're in the military or not, it's a pretty big ordeal, so that had a lot to do with it. I mean, I was glad I was in at that time, sorta. Of course, it made me a little nervous, but I knew I'd be all right.
18 Rochester area reserve sailors will take part in a construction mission somewhere in the Middle East. But before they're sent overseas, many have to take care of some unfinished business at home.
There was a lot of talk about it last year, that it could always be a possibility. But, you know, I pushed it out of my head and said, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's not going to go. And then when I found out about it, that it definitely was 99% sure he was going to go, it's really hard because we just started this, you know, life together. We moved in together, and, you know, he just got a steady job, and it's just so hard because, you know, it's just going to be such a huge adjustment to get used to him not being here every day.
So I joined, and I mean, it was a great experience, and it got me away from bullshit, like same old stuff going on around here. You know, everyone's just kind of hanging out and partying all the time, drinking all the time, and I was actually doing something, you know.
And so this is, you know, the second loved one of mine that's going to be over there, and it's hard because I've already lived it. I've already went through it. My brother was over there for 6 months, right when the war first started.
Brian left in January of 03. And the war started in March 20th of 03. So he was in Kuwait for 2 months. And then the war proceeded when he got the call, or they got the call from the chief of command. That's the way he put it to me, which was the president.
When I was 18 years old, it was October of 2001. Well, I was kind of overwhelmed because, you know, I had only been in for a short amount of time, and then the war had kicked off, and we got deployed within 2 months of me being at my drill center. So I didn't know what to expect. And
it was devastating because we never thought that when he joined before 9/11, the Marines, that he would ever go into a situation like this.
I think the unsure and just not knowing what was going to happen. Everything was new at that time, so it was a little bit unnerving because the news media had it all over.
How you doing, Mom, Dad? Obviously, I'm living it up here in Kuwait. Love you both, and be home soon.
it was like March 13th when the war kicked off. Like, you know, we all got woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we staged our tanks, you know, real early in the morning, and we got our hoorah speech from our CO, and when the flybys were going over Baghdad, you could see all the explosions. I mean, it's a flat area. So we just pointed north and headed to Baghdad. You know, out of all the events, one that I always talk about, or I always think about, would be driving down a road, and you're in a convoy. It's my tank and my other company's tanks, and all our trucks and all our LAVs are all marching down a road, and you know, the enemy would pop up out of the brush, you know, on our flanks, and would surrender. They'd wave their white flag and surrender to us, and not knowing, you know, coming through the first time, we assume, you know, our rules of engagement say, you know, if they're unarmed, do not fire on them. And then they would drop their flags as we pass them and pick up weapons and then start attacking. So then we had to figure out, you know, we didn't know who was, you know, we didn't trust anybody at that point. Now they're, you know, saying they're giving up and then they're trying to attack us. So then we were on our guard for the rest of this time over there.
And we had a support group that we went, every week we went to his unit where all the families met. But there was one thing that we got on the email that was devastating, that one of his own that went over there was killed by friendly fire.
Eric Orlowski. Yeah, he got killed like the first night we were going out over.
And at the time, you don't know. It just says Marine, 8th Tank Division, killed, and no name, just killed in friendly fire. And this was during the battle. And we were like, I mean, the emotions were running high. The phone calls were coming in.
We didn't know who it was.
We didn't know who it was, but then
How
within an hour or two, then the email came in and who it was. And it was devastating. We got a picture of this Marine. Brian went over with him, and it was an accident. It was one of their own. But, you know, that's part of the war.
I think everybody else thought I was different. No, I mean, I had some extra money to spend. I was young. I was 20 years old. I had my 20th birthday in Kuwait. You know, I went over as an 18-year-old kid, came back, you know, 20-year-old man. You know what I mean? Like, so I went out. I got really emotional for a while. People thought I was different, but again, they draw their own conclusions. You know, I don't think I was any different.
It's tough.
Yeah, he seemed a little quieter, a little less emotions, it seemed like.
Yeah, he did.
He still, to this day, he still seemed a little bit
less
quieter.
He doesn't have as lot of I don't know, the innocence is gone. I think he's just a little more timid and serious.
Too.
Yeah.
It's just the worst feeling in the world. You have no control over the situation. It's just so bizarre. So it's kind of sucks that it's second time around for me and, you know, my family to have to worry about somebody going over there. So
the stress that somebody goes through when their child is overseas and they can't get a hold of them or don't know from day to day what's happening, it's almost unbearable, but you hold it in to a point where you medically get sick, you know, stomach problems and other parts of your body just shut down, and actually I lost my hair over it.
I hope he stays safe. You know, I hope everybody stays safe over there. I don't care if you're in Iraq, if you're in Djibouti, you know, wherever you are, Fallujah, it's unpredictable. I mean, so I wish him the best. I know he'll be good. You know, he's got a good head and shoulders.
I'm scared. I don't want you to go.
I want to go.
Why?
Because I need the money.
I know. Aren't you going to miss me?
I am going to miss you.
A lot?
Yes, a lot. I miss everyone a lot, but it's worth it.
I'm more worried about, like, the people I'm going to leave home, like Maggie and my mom. Just people like that who I know will be worried about me. When I know that, you know, I'll be safe, and they can't really understand that.
he's got an absolutely wonderful family. They are so close, and he's going to be missed by everybody.
I mean, of course, I'm a little nervous, but I mean, I'm a little nervous when I start a new job, you know? I'm a little nervous when, you know, I don't know, just people get nervous, and I know that's just how life is.
Matt is going to get a lot of support from his friends, and I just want him to know how much he's loved and going to be missed by all the guys. It's a really great thing that they have together.
No, I'm just gonna make the best of things and go with the flow. No, my parents will do the same, and of course it'll be sad, and with time people will get used to it and go over there, do what I gotta do, and come home. Not about a being.
Patience had run thin, left when we wanted to hide on different sides of the line. We went to the end of the night, and nobody saw you fall. Nobody saw